To you, my friend, old friend from Jordan, Professor Rami Al-Hadeethi, and he's going to talk about e-learning and learning as a survival strategy for higher education in developing countries and developed also. Okay.
First of all, thanks a lot for the Oxford Academic Union for the invitation and for this nice activity. And I'm very glad to be with you here. I'll be talking about the e-learning and the blended learning. And for me, I consider it as a survival strategy for the higher education in developed countries. I will start my presentation with this quote. We need to bring learning to people instead of people to learn. My introduction, I will not elaborate more or speak about how the e-learning and the blended learning is important, because everybody knows now how the world is moving towards the e-learning, blended learning, moving towards the smart universities. In industry, we are talking about the fourth industrial revolution, and some researchers start talking and writing about the fifth industrial revolution. And I believe, when I focus, and according to my long experience with Arab higher education institutes, I'll focus on the Arab universities, I think they have a big problem in this issue and a huge challenge in adapting to ongoing changing market needs. And I think they have to work a lot towards solve this problem, and I believe it will be solved only through the implementation and the focus and the improvement of the e-learning and the blended learning issues in their institutes. In this presentation, I will highlight how important is this issue for Arab higher education institutes. And everybody knows that those days the information is no longer the primary goal of the education, because with the communication improvement, with the social media, with the data bases, with the website, everybody can get the information very easily. The challenge now is how to prepare our students to the market needs and according to the world standard, and how can we give them the skills, the important skills required with this improvement in the information technology and in the internet and all these issues. And now I think we have a problem from the student parts and side, and also from the staff themselves in the area. Talking about the students, those days, the students, the top students are not the students who master the information, but the students who can think critically, the students who can use the technology, the students who've got a good communication skill and good and can write very well, and also they have a social skills. the solution, how we solve this problem between the universities of the past and the future university. From my point of view, the best solution is the on-learning issue, and the blended learning is also included. Why I'm talking about the blended learning? Because many universities in the Arab world, they don't approve the study and the certificate who's done through the e-learning completely. And many institutes, even around the world, they don't agree to give a certificate for somebody who didn't know the country, who doesn't study physically in their campus, who hasn't learned the culture and see the laboratories and take some lectures inside the university itself. So the solution here to have a blended learning, where, for example, 50% of the courses can be taken inside the university and physically through face-to-face education. And we have a lot of courses which needs the face-to-face interaction. For example, for me as an engineering expert, and I do a lot of work in engineering and management, the engineering drawings, some laboratories, some subjects are specialized, and it's no good to having it online. We need the student to be physically present inside the classroom and taking the traditional lecture. So the blended learning will mix between both the traditional teaching and the new issues related to e-learning. And one of the advantages of the e-learning and the blended learning, that it allows the student to study anywhere, anytime, all the basic education, and upskill himself, and it will be available to more people, because in some countries and some areas it's very difficult for some students to attend for the whole 4 years or 5 years whatsoever and take all the classes physically, either for communication problem, or maybe he can't do it from financial point of view, or he's taking a job and working part-time and so on. So the e-learning will be a good solution for this segment of the students and the people. And the universities must also provide online registration. We need an electronic access to the university services, and also we need a prompt feedback. Issues in Arab higher education institutes. We've got problem in different countries around the Arab world. The main problem is the huge increase in the number of the students, especially in higher education. And I think this is maybe a global problem, but you can see it clearly in the Arab world. And you can't solve it with the traditional studies. It's not always possible to make the teaching available for this huge number of students. And also we have lack in the teaching staff, and specifically in some modern and sophisticated courses and specialization. So therefore, the e-learning will be a best solution. It will be available for more students. He doesn't have to attend physically to the university. And also through the e-learning, you can attract a lot of professors around the world who can give a lecture through the e-learning interaction, while it will be very difficult for you to attract him to attend in the university, maybe because the differences in the living standard, or sometimes the security issue, cultural issues, and so on. So you can attract through the e-learning, best professors around the world, and it will be very difficult sometimes to attract them to be physically available and working like in contracts in your own university. The e-learning characteristics. It does provide a large amount of information and skill. Also provide the opportunity for a student to study anytime, anywhere. Enable the student to practice self-reliance in receiving and analyzing the information. And universities are able to utilize the best national and local or global experts, as I just mentioned earlier. And it will reduce the financial costs for both the institution and the students as well. And it will provide opportunities for the largest number of students possible. But there are also some obstacles. What are the main obstacles in our region? The unavailability of efficient internet, not always available, and also the services and the programs. I'm talking from the technical point side. And the lack of skills among some students whom they need a support from the university and they need the training in the related programs, and also failure by students with insufficient ability to study alone. This is another problem the universities shall think about. And the student may need follow-ups and assistance and guidance and direct communication with the faculty. So universities shall think deeply in those matters. Even though I believe we're still lagging behind the world universities in this issue, but also there are some successful instances, like Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University in Dubai. It's an outstanding example for the smart universities. I did teach 7 courses till now from Jordan. I do give the lectures, and it's very, very good example we have to focus on. And also, Rami of Jordan launched a non-profit Arabic platform for massive open online courses called IDRAK in Jordan. And also some faculties are trying to activate and improve the e-learning and the blended learning through selected courses, like some courses at the University of Jordan where I do some exams and lectures, online lectures, and also at the Hashemite University where I was previously worked and established the faculty of engineering there. I did teach some courses, but not all the courses, selected courses. There are some attempts, individual attempts by some Iraqi academics and universities, but there is still a lot of work to be done regarding this issue. Examples for UK, talking about UK, in UK there is a lot of examples and they've been very successful with the e-learning and the blended learning. For example, University of Manchester and some other institutions, they draw a framework on experiences of designing, building, and delivering the successful flexible learning programs within the Faculty of Engineering and Physical Science specifically. And the Royal Academy of Engineers has produced several reports over the past few years, all of which point to the need to improve the quality of the engineering education, and with practical suggestions to the people and organizations involved in the commissioning, design, and use of e-learning resources in engineering education. And also the Engineering Institute of Technology, the EIT, deliver many e-learning programs designed for engineers, technicians, and electricians. So the conclusion, Arab higher education institutes will realize the importance of e-learning and blended learning and consider it as a survival strategy for their institutes. That's what I'm trying to promote always, and focus and talk a lot about the necessity of including the e-learning and the blended learning in our strategy and in our vision and mission, because it's a world issue. Consequently, British experts and institutes are required to play their role in promoting both the e-learning and the blended learning, and also to grasp the opportunity for satisfying such aim. And I will finish with another quote. Online learning is not the next big thing, it is the now big thing. And thanks a lot for your listening.
Okay. Shoot now.
It's not a question actually. Like I would like to give some input on your presentation. I'm not against e-learning. Of course, it's the need of the generation today. And I completely agree with the positive points of e-learning. Also, I agree with the obstacles of e-learning. But like, since I'm from India, I believe in unity in diversity. So when we talk about learning, especially at a global level, different students from different parts of the globe come together on a common platform. They meet, they interact. Don't you think that e-learning cannot be that effective in that case? Because what I feel is, I'll give you an example. Like, today we all are gathered over here. Everybody from wide range, like different countries. This program could have happened on Skype. Yeah, that's an example, kind of an example of e-learning. But why we are here together discussing, finding out solutions, commenting on each other's presentations, exchange of ideas, don't you think this is more effective?
Yes, I believe if we're talking about taking the degree purely by e-learning, I'm not with it, I'm against it. That's why I focused a lot on the blended learning. And from my personal experience from Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University, which is a very successful experience, what they do, all the basic course for more than 2 years, at the beginning the students have to be in the campus, they have to study all the subjects which needs the interaction. But before the graduation, usually in the universities we go more to the specialized courses in the 3rd year or the 4th year. In the specialized courses, I think the blended learning will be very useful. First of all, you can attract the best professors in their field, which might be not available in Dubai or in Iraq or Jordan. And also the students can share the experiences through the interaction, because they will have a lecture and through the internet. But the lecture, according to the quality, academic quality assurance, should cover 5 different modules. The PowerPoint slides, there are some exemplary organizations, some educational videos, assignment, individual project, and the group project. So the students are much more mature during the 3rd and 4th year, and when they work together internationally and through the internet with such different models, I think it will be a very great experience to improve their ability and their communication. Obviously, it will not be effective for the 1st year or 2nd year student.
But still, sir, I have been using technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality. Don't you think that through all these things we are heading towards complete virtual world. Like, because I somewhere feel that the result, the social development of a child, of a student, more happens with interactive learning, specifically face-to-face, like even after lectures, even between the breaks, we communicate with each other, like, which becomes very, very necessary. Maybe I might be an introvert child, I might not be extrovert. So I would prefer keeping quiet when my colleagues are speaking, maybe online. So like, if physically you are present, a teacher can read the mind of the child more effectively.
That's right.
And can communicate more effectively. I'm again saying I'm not against e-learning. I'm very much into it because my school is one of the best technologized school. Like, I use all possible technologies in my school. But then of course I give equal weightage to lectures also, and to technology also, to outdoor sports also, and to practical field trip kind of a learning also. So I'll end up over here. Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
Nope. Argentina first.
Only one moment. The part that, like she says, I think the new students maybe for the first time they must learn to study, but like you say, not for first and second, but yeah. And the second comment is in the way you have the presentation at the first time, that the steady increase of students
Number,
is not a problem, it's a challenge.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And honestly, I'm focusing on this issue because of the huge number of students, and also because in the region there are a lot of problems, a lot of security issues. So even the national professors and experts are flooding the country and working somewhere else. So it will be very difficult to find a national professor who's very expert in his field. Like me, I left Iraq 20 years ago. I'm not living in there. I'm Iraqi in origin because of the situation there. And it will be more difficult to attract somebody from UK or from the United States to give courses and work traditionally.
Yeah.
So it's like a suggestion to solve a problem.
Yeah.
But for me, if you talking personally, I prefer to use the e-learning in the training. And I did in Oxford some presentations and lecture about e-training. For the graduates, the training through online will be very, very good. And also, the e-learning issue will be very good for graduates who want to improve themselves in a specific subject or in a specific field, and he doesn't have the time to do it traditionally because he's either working or he's busy with his job, he haven't got time, so he can improve himself and take the courses during his free time and have some certificate to progress his career.
Yeah.
In this case, it will be very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just leading on a little bit in terms of quality. I've participated in many courses, e-learning courses, various levels from various countries. My observation is the quality of the learning experience, like the learning experience in a regular classroom, is very much tied to the quality of the professor or the teacher and that online platform. I've had outstanding experiences learning online, and I've had terrible experiences learning online. So while I think e-learning has many applications, and I think you presented those very well, we also need to be very mindful of the quality of the educator behind the platform.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a very important issue, and talking about Dubai's Smart University, Hamdan Mohammed University, they are very strict and they are very professional in choosing the professors, and they have to have a lot of interviews, professors who are very, very capable in their field, and did a lot of teaching, lecturing, supervising students and the graduation project, and also there is a continuous development. We are under continuous improvement and we take a lot of training courses from specialists and technicians in university to improve our capabilities in the e-learning and how to deal with the model program itself. So this is very important with the e-learning.
Okay.
Just to continue the concerns that Samani has raised. You have listed the advantages of e-learning, and we obviously agree. But there's something like, of course, the main purpose of the university is to disseminate knowledge, but still there is a very important role that the universities have is socializing and professional contacts and many other things. What do you think can be the smart university upgraded the way that it's offered even the socializing services to the distance students? For example, universities maybe distantly build the university community in particular countries and offering some socializing events.
Yes, they can do that, and also during the exams, Hamdan Muhammad University, they have to attend physically. There is no online exams. So they can take the lecture, they can study it on their own time. All my lectures are recorded, okay, and he can listen to the lecture in his free time whenever he wants, but during the exam, the graduation, some social activities, he's supposed to be in the campus physically. I do the correction and I do the exam electronically, but for the students have to be available inside the campus.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I just want to add on to this. Like if you take a lecture, if your lecture has been recorded,
Yeah.
and if a student is having an exam, say by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, something like that, and if the student is having any doubt, and if he is like, he gets time in the evening, maybe late evening, and he's going through the lecture and he's thinking like, okay, oh, this is still not clear, I need to ask. So then what I was thinking is like, maybe you might be available at that time, you might not be available at that time. How do he clear his doubts, consequences? Like, I was just thinking that while you were speaking that.
There is a chat portal, and the students can exchange all the ideas between them, and also the lecturer can interact. So personally, what I do, it depends about the professor. Whenever I have a free time, I have to go to this chat portal many times during the day or the night, read all the discussions and give my idea and the replies. So he can either do a private chat with me, or maybe he will put his questions and his idea available to all the participant students.
So do you think like, the countries, sorry sir,
Yeah.
do you think the countries who have actually a certain kind of a problem or obstacle and who, for whom a complete e-learning is the need of the times, is the need of an hour.
Yeah.
So if structured properly, keeping everything in mind, we can generate a very good curriculum for e-learning.
Yes.
A good university for e-learning for those countries.
Yes, I believe that if they focus on the infrastructure and the technical side, because what I've noticed, the technical side is very important. For me, while I was doing the lecture, when there is where there is any problem, the technician goes to the team viewer from Dubai and he fixed my laptop during my lecture. So you need technicians always available, very skilled people, very strong internet. Definitely there are some problems sometimes, because one day I was lecturing and one of the students, the internet and his voice wasn't clear, and I don't know, I didn't open the camera, I deal with them as names and numbers. and he was apologizing. He said, I'm sorry, Professor, today the internet is very weak because I'm taking the lecture with you from one of the villages in Thailand. And I was shocked. I said, oh, bloody hell, I'm sitting here in Jordan and the technician staff in Dubai, and the guy who's taking the lecture is in one of the villages in Thailand. So there are very attractive, very flexible, very nice things about the e-learning, but also there are some fears,
if it's often, like, then it is a matter of concern. But if it is occasional, like, even human error is there. Like,
right.
even professors remains absent at times.
Yes,
So, like, at times student remains absent.
That's
Correct? So if it's occasional, the things are different. It should not be often, like,
That's right.
that
Yeah.
technical background and that infrastructure has to
That's,
be there.
and honestly, I've noticed I give much more material during the e-learning because I'm like monitored. The time is monitored, my lecture is recorded and downloaded for quality assurance purposes and also for the students to listen to it and read it whenever they want to listen to the lecture, which is not available in the traditional lecture. So I think in the specialized courses and with professors with a huge experience in their fields, I believe the e-learning is much better than the traditional.
Yes.
Apart from that, no, there will be a lot of troubles with the students and the staff themselves.
Yes, but the system works only with the compromise of the professors.
Yeah.
Because it's necessary to change the mind for many professors, because
That's right.
you have hard work in learning, because the student, like you say, a toda hora, every time. So you must institutionally, you must convince, you must transform your professor, the mind of the professor, to this new system.
Yes, a lot of people are afraid of it and they need a lot
It's
of
very-
training. But from the other side, it will be very good for the students because the world is going crazy. Everything is digital now. Everything is electronic. So also you have to teach your students how to deal with this new technology. And I think e-learning it's
That
a
can
good
be possible in blended also. So
Yeah.
not necessarily. But I like your idea.
Thank you very much.
Okay, fantastic. We ended up with a very, very lively discussion about e-learning.
Before we turn to dinner, of course, can I announce your names, and if you could please come and receive your diploma. Yes, the professor to stand there. So the first, can I ask Dr. Rami Al-Hadeethi from the Department of Industrial Engineering, School of Engineering at the University of Jordan. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.